what they produce and get according to what they give. So what I see us Nigerians in general is that we are so gullible. We are so gullible to these politicians. They somehow find something for us to chew upon. When we chew on these things, they perfect their act of misdirection, and when they do so, we become the losers at the end of the day, because the ultimate aim for them is to steal the collective patrimony of Nigerians. What we actually need right now is an electoral reform. An electoral reform, a judicial reform. These are the two key things that need reform, not tax. Accepting a tax reform by the Tinubu government is like accepting a system that produces bad leaders. It's like we said, okay, we have accepted Tinubu with the system that came in, so we'll be so focused on this tax reform, debating on it, whereas the same system that brought him, the same criminal system that brought him is still there, untouched. It was Yar'Adua who admitted that the system that brought him was faulty, and therefore he set up an electoral reform that brought about the voters card and the electronic machine and all of that. For now, for me, the tax reform, tax rubbish, all these are not necessary now. We need to get our leadership system right, and every other thing will fall in place. There is nothing good that can come from Tinubu so long as he didn't come in through the right way. All this, any blogger that is putting his energy analyzing and debating tax reform, I think he's misplacing his or her priorities. My priority is to ensure that a system that is credible enough, that is acceptable enough, that produces good leaders acceptable by the masses is first put in place. Should the system is flawed, then we should have a judicial system that interprets what is right for the common man to the people. That is just my own stand. So I will not fall for the antics of Tinubu. Tinubu thinks he is smart enough and he knows what to give Nigeria to chew upon. Every time he comes up with something, voila, Nigeria rushes to it and they start chewing on it. They get busy fighting among themselves. Now, Tinubu, on the other hand, think he's so smart, but I've always believed the Northerners are better politicians, any day, anytime. You get me? So, Tinubu believes he's so smart, but I've always believed Ike na Eze. I like your sarcasm. Okay. So, at this moment, Tinubu strongly believes he has played the North. He has played on the religious mentalities of the North, thereby enabling the North to give him votes. I can assure you that the North don't make mistakes twice. The Northerners don't make mistakes twice. Now, Tinubu on the one hand will believe that, well, Buhari came and did it. Buhari came and Fulanized the governance system of Nigeria. And therefore, Tinubu also believes that he too can come and Yorubanize the governance system. I have told you, for those clamoring for division, Nigeria will not work, Nigeria will not work, Nigeria is... Of course, just because you shout it more does not make you know that Nigeria is bad. We all know Nigeria is bad. Nigeria is very, very bad. But I have always believed that the problem of Nigeria is a leadership problem, starting from the system that chooses our leaders for us. If we can get that system right, our leaders will become right. And once our leaders are right, the problems of Nigeria is gone. We are recycling the old thieves that know themselves, protect themselves, and protect their collective patrimony. We, on the other hand, we are on the bottom of the food chain, fighting and quarreling ourselves. Whereas they go to Abuja, they don't fight themselves. In Abuja, they don't do Muslim Christian. They don't do Yoruba, Igbo, South, Fulani. They don't do that. They attend the same clubs and exchange the same women. It's so stupid of us that we fight the fight that only culminates into elongating their state to steal you and I blind. So I feel so bad that the angle from which some of us look at these problems, you are not matured well enough to understand it. I know some of you may be carried away by your emotions and you feel through this emotional perspective you understand the problems far better than us, or we are speaking too much grammar. But hey, look, let me tell you, no matter how you struggle, if you have been nailed, you have been nailed. These people have nailed Nigeria. I think the most important thing in every Nigerian's mind, is to find a way to get these people out and get the right people in. Now, if you are one of those that is saying, Nigeria is spoiled, break this Nigeria, who is going to break it for you? UN? The people who are going to break the Nigeria for you are the one leading you. Come on. Sometimes when you see me come on air like this and I'm talking, you think I am biased. I've received plenty names. Magnus, you are biased. Magnus, you hate Igbos. Magnus, you hate Yorubas. Magnus, you hate Fulanis. Magnus, you hate Hausa. Magnus, you hate the North. So many adjectives that have been used to describe me. But hey, let me shock you. I think I'm the only one that is being reasonable here, because no matter how your emotions guide you, what is real is real. What is real is real. Because at the end of the day, it is your brothers and sisters that are being unalived. It is you that go to the market to buy rice, more expensive. In their house, they have bags of rice, bags of beans, gallons of groundnut oil and red oil. They don't complain of food. In fact, they see the food and they are confused which one to eat for breakfast, which one to eat for evening. They don't have all the immediate challenges that you have. Yet, it is us that are left in the bottom of the food chain that still have energy from the little food we eat to fight among ourselves, abuse ourselves, insult ourselves, argue and attain nothing. Still, we wake up tomorrow in the same bastardized system, still having the energy to fight among ourselves. Is God not wonderful? God is indeed wonderful. That is the biggest miracle. Now, I understand that, yes, when you are pinched, you react. Of course, we will not be human if we do not have the reflex to respond to stimulus, to hunger stimulus, to bad governance stimulus. We are all human. But we must stay focused on the realism of our challenges. We cannot use emotions to solve the problems that we face. We cannot use emotions to cajole or force those in governance to do what we want. We must think ahead of them. We must think better than them. We must have a collective perspective that shows that, hey, we the people are more resolved than their collective resolve to steal our money. When they see us fight among ourselves, they are happy. They said, okay, these people are distracted from. Look, in Nigeria, whether they remove subsidy, they keep subsidy, oil, petrol is not supposed to be more than 300-400 naira. Petrol is not supposed to be more than 300 naira. I ask, we had an old currency in circulation, which was enough for all Nigerians to transact and do business with. Then somebody came and printed new sets of currencies. Now we have an old currency and the new currencies in circulation, leading to high volume of currencies in circulation. Why do you think prices will not rise? Why do you think that even when fuel prices have gone up to 1,100 plus, people are still buying the fuel? Beer that used to sell for 350 is now 1,000. People are still buying it. Ishewu that was 700, 800, now is 250, 2005. People are still buying it because there's volume of money enough to meet these excesses. So what we really need is not all these fights among ourselves. It's not this fight. The moment you cling on to these emotions, know that we have lost as a people. The moment we cling on to these emotions, like as I was saying, the moment you find yourselves clinging on to these emotions, Igbos are the problem, Yorubas are the problem, Igbo know they sell land, Igbo know they sell house, Yorubas are traitors, Hausas are killers, blah, 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 blah. Just know that you have lost. You have subjected yourself to where the government, the cabal wants you to be. It is those types of thoughts that has kept us continuously divided. And in our divisions, we strengthen the politicians that rob us. I don't want to be a golden speaker. I don't want to be a master of grandiloquence. I don't want to be an orator who says things without results. But I try as much as possible to draw our attention to the ways these politicians are deceiving us and are misusing us. Trust me, I don't like Nigeria any better than you do. Neither do I believe that Nigeria is going to work lesser than your conviction of a worse Nigeria. I don't. Trust me, the way you see Nigeria is the same way I see it. The only difference is that I am not looking at the solutions to Nigeria from an emotional perspective. I'm trying to look at the issues of Nigeria from a realistic perspective. So when I see people come to my page, idiot, Mr. Why you useless man, all we need is this, all we need is that, Biafra is the only, I just begin to wonder, because trust me, we are in a real situation that we have corrupt leaders as corrupt people as leaders is very real. That prices of commodities are going way beyond the reach of the common man is a very real problem. That people are stealing humongous amount and stashing it away in their houses is a very real challenge. That the life of Nigeria means little or nothing in Nigeria is real. That politicians now view the common Nigerians as people that they can pick and lock at their beckoning. The case of the House of Rep member who assaulted a boat driver is in question. The recent case of Afe Babalola taking Dele Farotimi against his will. So it's not, look, it's not as if you know these things more than us. We see it. And we are not happy by it. But should we become emotional and start yapping anyhow? Nigeria, break this country. Who is going to break it? The people who will break it are the ones leading you. And they will enjoy Nigeria more so long as Nigeria remain one. How do you, in any clan or in any cadre of thoughts, nobody spoils a system he benefits from. Yes, we tried an election, we voted, they refused giving us the person who won the election. Why don't you try again? Because the option you are bringing will not work. The people who will facilitate that thing working are the people leading you. The only way you can break this country is if there is a civil war and people are unalived. Houses are destroyed. That is the only option. Now, I am not an advocate of people losing their souls. I am not an advocate of that. I am not an advocate of bloodletting or bloodshed. I am not. I'm an advocate of peace. Well, if your life means nothing to you to the extent you want to sacrifice it and your loved one, well, that's an option best suited for you. But for me, that's not my way. I like to engage and explore the ambience of superior reasoning. That is how I think. And that is how I believe that we can come together and tell the governor, look, tax reform, the two key reforms we need in Nigeria, the two most pressing reform we need here in Nigeria, it's not tax. When you talk about tax reform, it's like we are in an economy that produces things, we are exporting, we are making profits, and then because taxation is on income or profit, there's no capital tax. You tax money made. So when we are talking about tax reform, it's like Nigeria has a, it's like it is assumed that Nigeria has progressed into a developing, a producing country where monies are made extensively, and then there's a need for tax to tap in from these profits for government to run Nigeria. But then you know that's not true. So our problem is not tax reform. Our need right now is an electoral stroke judiciary reform. Our judiciary needs to be reformed. Presently now, our judiciary is open for the highest bidder, and so is INEC. They are all open for the highest bidder. And the beaver system is not as if it's bad. It's just that our politicians, as scrupulous as they are, always find a loophole to exploit any system. Because the beaver system,
all we need electoral reform to save this country of ours for class. Electoral reform will make about good leadership, even the development. That's what we need at this time or day. Thank you and God bless you. Subscribe to my channel. I like. Thank you.